How can you be a positive influence on others? Influence is so important to me. I've dedicated my life to influence. I've written a book about how to influence on YouTube. So how can you influence others? Well, the purpose of this video is to outline several concrete things, tactical things that you can do to be a positive influence. Let's start out by talking about the difference between motivation and real influence. Like if somebody is speaking from the stage and they've got this powerful message and they're real motivating and inspiring, and you leave and you're happy and you're motivated for that day, but what happens the next day? What happens a week later and a month later? Did it really change your life? So what I'm talking about is real influence, to where it changes somebody's life. They're impacted for good. A year later, they're a different person. It's not that the kindness or the motivation is bad, but I'm just contrasting that with changing somebody's life trajectory. That's what I'm talking about when I say influence. So a lot of what I'm going to share in this video is defining what that type of influence is and showing many examples of what that influence looks like, how I've done it or how I've been influenced, so that you can see examples of your life of real influence, and so that it will really paint a clear picture of how you can be this type of influence for others. So think about Robert Kiyosaki. When he wrote the book Cash Flow Quadrant, he taught the principles of the difference between employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. That caused a complete paradigm shift. It's like it rewired my brain. I did not comprehend that before, and now I understood it. Before, I thought I wanted to be a dentist, and after reading it, I knew I did not want to be a dentist. I went from not knowing what a business owner was, I thought that was somebody that carried a briefcase, to now really comprehending that a business owner was something that I wanted to be, that I could create and I could innovate. Let me share with you another example. He's become a great friend of mine. We go mountain biking. Now, Jonas, he taught me about hiring people overseas. He created a website, virtualassistanttool.com. That's where I find a directory of people that are hoping to work for Americans. Now, he introduced this to me a little over 13 years ago, and I caught the vision and I hired my first team member, and it really changed the trajectory of my entire life. Had John not created that website, and had he not taught me about this valuable resource, I would not have the company that I have today. My life would have gone a complete different direction. The livelihood of my 22 full-time Filipino employees would be completely different. Talk about influence. Now, in that same vein of people in the Philippines, I actually didn't go over there until after I'd hired them for 9 years. And I have a very strong memory of that first visit. My team had arranged a dinner. It was at this gourmet buffet at the top floor of this mall. And I was sitting at the table, and I had 5 team members over here and 5 team members over here. And the way that they were looking at me changed my life. It changed my perspective. They were looking at me with admiration, with such respect and reverence. It really shocked me, and I really understood, wow, this isn't just a colleague, this isn't just a work relationship, but they're depending upon me for their livelihood. I've provided careers that support and sustain them. It was just a different feeling. I never realized how much influence I had until I met them. Okay, let me give you another example with Noelle Randall. Now, she is an amazing person. She has an amazing, brilliant business mind. When I met her, she had 6 different businesses, and one of them she had grown to $1 million in the previous year. So she's very successful. If she had never met me, that wouldn't change. She's very successful. But I taught her my YouTube strategy. I implemented everything taught in that book, and she was able to completely transform her business to where today that same business has now brought in $6 million, pretty much independent of her time. She used to put in tons of time, tons of effort. It was, of all the 6 businesses, most of her effort were on this one business. Now she has freedom of time. She's got a team of coaches, and she's impacting the lives of her clients to where she's transforming and changing their lives. So it's like this massive ripple effect. I remember the first time that I met her husband just mentioned to me in gratitude, like, thank you so much. You'll never know how much you have changed our lives. That is influence, and that is fulfillment. I love it. To tell you a little bit more about the clients of Noelle, she teaches people how to do Airbnb real estate, okay, and how to do Turo car rentals and a lot of other things. But most of her program and most of her students learn to do the same, Airbnb real estate. So now she's got coaches within her company that have followed her program. They've bought properties, they've got positive cash flow, so they've used good debt, and they've got assets that are accumulating and growing. And so now she doesn't have to take those strategy session calls or provide the coaching, because she's helped these people so much that they can now pass it on and they help other people get started in Airbnb real estate. Another example is Nicolene Peck. She's got the YouTube channel Teaching Self-Government. Now, she's had a huge impact on me and my family. My wife and I went through her 3-day program, and it transformed the way that we do parenting. Now, she had a successful business. She speaks to the United Nations. She speaks all around the world to people about parenting. So she is successful. But I helped her with this YouTube strategy. And I've really helped her build a lot of momentum to where now she's getting tens of thousands of people every single day that are discovering her on YouTube organically, that are transforming their lives and their parenting. I want to help you have that same level of impact, that same level of influence. And that's why I want to give you this book for free. It's How to Influence, or A Hero's Guide to Influence on YouTube. So it's more than just a cool YouTube strategy. There's a lot of other YouTube strategies out there about how to get millions of views. This is not about getting millions of views. This is about having a real impact, having real influence. If we do want to talk about dollar amounts, you can generate $10,000 of revenue with just 100 views. I've packed my entire strategy in here. This isn't just a quick book that I threw together. This was a 2-year project. I'll be open. I invested about $70,000 to produce this book. I'm giving it to you without profit, okay? You cover the printing cost, you cover the shipping, no profit to me, and that's my gift to you. Go to natesyoutubebook.com.